Hey guys, it's Beth and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is literally just gonna be me playing in some makeup and having some fun. Yesterday I wore this eyeshadow look that I'm gonna be showing you today, and I loved it so much that I was like, I need to film a video on it. It's kind of gonna be like a little bit of a shop my stash using stuff that I already have and just having fun and putting some makeup on. So if that sounds interesting to you, then just keep on watching. So first, what I already have on my skin is my moisturizer, this Milani Soft Focus Glow Complexion Enhancer. I have the shade Golden Glow, but I can't seem to find this one online, but they do have one in the shade like Nude Glow, and they also have like a bronze one, I think, or something like that. But I really like this. It adds hydration and a little bit of a glow, obviously. And then down the center of my face I have the ALL Poreless Putty Primer. And as always, I will have everything that I use today or I'm wearing listed and linked down below. So if you are curious, just check down there and you will see everything. So yesterday, the foundation that I did use is this one from Profusion. It is the Feel Good Skin Longwear Skin Perfector with hyaluronic acid. And I really do like this. And it lasted really good yesterday, but I'm like kind of debating if I want to use my Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. These both actually have SPF 15 in them, which I didn't even notice until just now. I think I'm going to use my Tarte foundation today, actually. And they just reformulated this foundation, so it's in new packaging, and I don't know, I think it has like a new formula, but I have the old one. This isn't old, but I have the old formulation, so I'm just gonna use that. And yeah, I really do like this foundation though. It's not like super full coverage, but it does give a nice amount of coverage, so I'm just gonna dot that around my skin. You do not need a lot of this. A little bit does go a long way, so just keep that in mind. And then I'm first going to go in with a brush. This is a Real Techniques RT Go brush. I really like this brush. And I'm just going to first start spreading that around to start the blending process. And then once that is kind of spread around evenly on the skin, I will go in with my Beauty Blender and really press that into my skin. And this will also help soak up any excess product that I may have. And then for coverage underneath the eyes and any blemishes and other places that I need coverage, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is not the hydrating version, it's just a regular Camo Concealer. And then I'm going to go in with this brush again and just start blending that into my skin. I find that especially on like the blemishes and stuff, it is better to use a brush because I can really just press that in and it's not going to pick up any of the coverage like a sponge might. And then under the eyes, I am going to use that Beauty Blender though, just because if I use a brush under my eyes, I find it can look kind of heavy. So my favorite way to blend in my under eye concealer is with a sponge. Alright, for bronzer, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I'm like just super into creams right now, so I've hardly been using any powders on my face. I'm gonna try this with my sponge like how I use the ColourPop or the Soul Body one and see if this works in a similar way. And it seems to be working like this. I normally do apply this with a brush, but it seems to be working okay with a sponge. I also want to mention that I have the shade Honey Drip. I feel like I could go for an even bit of a deeper shade, but this color does work really nice on me. It looks really natural. Look at this Beauty Blender though. Like, ew, disgusting. It's gross that I'm even using this on my face. But my other Beauty Blender is actually out for delivery today, but I needed to get my makeup done because I have to bring my boys to get their hair cut. And then I also, in my last video trying out the Cherry collection from ColourPop, I said I wanted to try this Cheek Dew with some other foundations. So I did try it yesterday with this Profusion foundation, and it did work pretty good. It didn't like lift the foundation. I still don't know if I'm a huge fan of the formula, but it did work pretty well with this foundation. So now we will be trying it with this Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation, and we will see how that goes. I do find that my favorite way to apply it is just to apply like a dollop on the back of my hand and kind of spread it out with my finger, and then just kind of pick it up on the sponge from my hand and apply this right to the cheeks. It seems to be working pretty good with this foundation as well. It doesn't seem to be disturbing anything underneath, which is good. I just know that I would not trust putting this over a powder. Just the formula would not play well over the top of a powder. I know that it would start breaking things apart. But over a more full coverage foundation, rather than over something like the L'Oreal Pro Glow like I was wearing in my last video, it does kind of play a little bit better. I felt like with this foundation, it just kind of broke down the foundation underneath. Now I am just going to set my face with some powder, my usual Too Faced that I've been using, and just pressing it in like I normally would. Nothing new here. Just going to be pressing that in underneath the eye, taking my time, and then I will press it in down the center of my face. And then again, as usual, pressing a light bit of this LA Colors powder all over the face. And I have tried to find a place where I can link this powder, but I can't seem to find it online. But you can get it at like Family Dollar. That's where I usually buy it. And then yesterday I did go in with this little Cookie Cluster cheek palette from ColourPop, and I used this shade. This is called Oh Ginger Snap, and it's kind of like a corally color, and I just stabbed my nail into it. And I just got that on a blush brush and applied, get out of here, applied a little bit of that to the cheeks and all of the other key areas where I typically apply blush. I'm gonna bring this actually a little bit around the temple because I think that looks kind of cute. Nose, chin, forehead. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to eyes. I did prime my lids with the e.l.f. Putty eyeshadow primer in the shade Rose, and I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette that she did with Morphe, and this is actually such a good palette. I love the color scheme in here. It is so pretty, like right up my alley. I love pinks, purples, neutrals. I love yellows, and it is just such a pretty palette. So what I did yesterday was I went in with a fluffy brush and I used this shade right here called Positivity. Yeah, I would say it's kind of like a coral, a little bit more orangey and a little bit more muted, not like a super like vibrant in your face coral. So I just got that and I started working that into the crease. I always start at the outer corner because when you press your brush first, that is where the most pigment is going to be. So I want the most pigment in that outer part, and then I can kind of move some of the pigment in to the inner part of the crease and outward as well. And then I'm going to flip to the other side of my eyeshadow brush. This is my Seint eyeshadow brush. I will post a link to where you can shop all the Seint products in the description box below, but I'm going to flip to this more like pointed little pencil brush side, which I love. And I'm going to go into my favorite shade in this entire palette, which is called G Money. I love this kind of like camel brown. It is so stunning, and I love using this as like put it all over the lid, up into the crease, lower lash line, done. It is such a gorgeous shade. And then I'm just going to start pressing that on the outer corner of the eye and working it inward. And I kind of liked how this was a little bit more of an unexpected combination, but it turned out so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I loved my eyeshadow yesterday. And I lightly just kind of blend over that edge to merge the two colors together. Okay, so now that I have G Money built up and blended in with that Positivity shade, I am going to go in with this shade right here called Flawed and Odd, and it is kind of like a orangey kind of bronzy gold. It is a really interesting shade. I don't even know if you can accurately see it on camera here, but it is really gorgeous. And again, I thought this was kind of like an unexpected combination, but it just turned out so beautiful. So I am just going to go in with this brush. This is, I think, the smudge brush. It's by Seint as well. And I am just going to start packing that on to the lid. And then I like to bring it up into this inner crease area. You guys know, if you've been watching me, how I like to do my shadow. And this is just such a really good quality shimmer. I normally use my fingers to apply shimmer, but I find I don't even need to use my finger with it or wet my brush. It just goes on so nice and smooth. I wish you could accurately see everything. it's like my camera doesn't want to pick up how beautiful it actually looks in person. So I'm just going back into this pointed end of my brush, and I am going to use G Money and run that along the lower lash line. Then I'm going to wipe off my brush, and I'm going to go into this shade right here called I'm In It. And right here it looks just like a white shimmer, but it's kind of has that like pink flip to it, which is really fun. So I am going to just pop that on to the inner corner of my eye, and I just think it looks so cool alongside that Flawed and Odd shade. And it adds a little bit something fun to that inner corner. I love a good duochrome inner corner moment. Woo! So freaking pretty. And then lastly for the eyeshadow, I'm going to go into this shade up in the corner called Certified. It is just a matte kind of white cream color, and I'm going to get that underneath the brow. Alright, so next I'm going to go into this cream gel liner from the ColourPop Cherry collection, and this is in the shade Jubilee. You guys know how much I loved this when I tried it out. And I thought it would be really fun with this look because we got that like pink kind of going on in the inner corner. So stunning. So I'm just going to get that in the waterline. I just think that liner adds such a fun pop to the look. I really love how that looks with this. But now I'm going to go ahead and do some mascara and some brows, and I will be right back. Okay, so brows and mascara are done. I will quickly talk about what I have on my brows, because like my most asked about and most like complimented feature is always my brows for some reason. But I first used the NYX Lift and Snatch brow tint pen. I have the shade Espresso. I freaking love this. It is a little brush tip pen that I just use in this like little front portion of my brow to add some fullness and add like some little hair-like strokes, as you can see. And then I fill out the outer portion, like the upper half and the tail of my brow, with this Benefit Precisely My Brow pen. And I'm at pencil, not pen. And then for brow gel, this is one of my favorite brow gels of all time. This is the Insert Name Here, and if you don't know about Insert Name Here, they do like ponytail extensions and bun extensions. I have their little Sammy bun. They do like hair tools. The creators of INH Hair, one of them is Jordan Wynn, and she used to be like the head of social media for ColourPop, but this is that brand, and this is their Quick Slick Hair Essence, and this is actually to tame like flyaways and stuff like that, but it is amazing as a brow gel, especially when my brows are freshly laminated, which by the way, I need to re-laminate my brows here sometime soon. If you would like to see that, let me know in a comment or give this video a thumbs up, and I will definitely film that process for you and show you what I use. But yeah, I use this in my brows. I also love to use this to like tame my little baby hairs and stuff like that. This is so good. I'm gonna try and get a little up close here so you can kind of see how the eye look like actually looks. I am in love with it. Like, even this does not do it justice. It is so much prettier in person. I love this eye look so much. Now we're gonna move on to lips, and I'm gonna use this LA Girl Perfect Precision lip liner, and I have mine in the shade Sugar and Spice, and this is just a really good nude for my lips, so I'm just gonna slightly overline as usual. Alright, so the lips are overlined, and I'm actually going to go in with this glossy lip stain that I tried in my last video. I have used this, like, this will be my third day in a row now. I actually really do like this. It does stain and last a long time on the lips, which I really like. I really love the color, and I love how it looks with this look. So this is what I'm going to use today. Again, I love that when you first like go off of the applicator onto the lips, it feels cold. It is really interesting. Like, see, it's just like cold. It's so cool. Alright, so this is the completed look, and I am in love with this entire look. I love the lip. I love the eyes. Everything just looks so good. Like, this is one of my favorite makeup looks I've done in a while. It just looks so stunning. And I, again, wish you could actually see what it truly looks like in person. I will probably take some good pictures of this makeup if I can and post them on my Instagram, so I'll have my Instagram link down below as well. And also, if you noticed this throughout the video, this is a burn. I was eating pizza rolls the other day and I didn't wait long enough for it to cool off, and I took a bite and the filling came out the other side and landed on my chest, and now we have a burn and it hurts. But yeah, I'm sorry if that has been distracting. Now you know what it is. It hurts. Lesson learned, let your pizza rolls cool off before you just dig in. All right, so I had so much fun filming this video and recreating this makeup look that I loved so much. If you enjoyed the video, please give the video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and also click the bell if you want to be notified every time I upload, and leave me a comment down below and tell me what your favorite product for summer is. I would love to know. But that is it for me today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!